Soldiers of the cog, my fellow Gears, go forth and bring back the hope of humanity!
Control it. What can I do with it? But let it exist. It is what it is. Really. I refuse to torment my soul over things I can't control. I ain't finna talk about it for hours and get frustrated, lose my mind. I'ma do the best I can. Whatever. Yeah. Hop in the Cadillac and roll. Hey, homeboy. Every little thing gon' be alright. Life is unpredictable, things gon' happen. Nothing I can do but start adapting. Haste makes waste, I'm not gon' hurry, I'ma warn you good. I ain't gon' worry, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
How's everybody doing?
To him, try to make him think. Yeah. Listen to me, homie. Forget it, man.
Welcome back to ShitYeah, your favorite Gears cast. I'm your host, Captain Ginyu, or apparently Captain America. Love that fucking meme. Shout out. That's awesome. It's your boy, Indian. And tonight, or this morning, wherever you're at, we've got a very special episode. Before we get into that, though, there's something I want to talk about that happened over the week. Live-O has been banned for 1,000 years as well. And I'm just disgusted. Because, to be honest with you, he and I have never seen eye to eye. I just haven't liked the way he's talked to me or other people. It has nothing to do with what he brings to the table. It's just that. But regardless of that, I can't believe they would take his voice away on the forum. And if you don't think when I reached out to you I was being sincere, I absolutely was. I feel terrible that that happened, and you didn't deserve it. But it just goes to show you how out of control that these community people are. Hopefully something gets done, and I hope they help you out. They should appreciate everyone's input, even if it's not worded the way they want. I need to stop trying to control people's thoughts. But anyway, back to the good shit. Tonight, I have 4 exciting guests, and I've posed to them 3 questions. Because right now seems like a good time to reflect on Gears 5. And I'm honored that these people would join ShitYeah. They're immortalized, you know? It's fucking awesome. Magnificent. And before we get into everything, I'm going to introduce each individual one at a time. I think it's important. Coming up first is Raw Wicked, and if you want to follow him on Twitter, Raw_Wicked. Gears OG. Really nice guy. Gives a lot, doesn't ask for shit back. He has had a rough road this last year, but he's still around. He seems stronger than ever. Appreciate you for coming on, brother. Unfortunately, he does not have audio, so I will be narrating his answers, but rest assured, your voice will be heard here. Next, another exciting individual I want to introduce. Andrxw452. And his Twitter, spelled a little different, ANDRXW452. Very even-handed fellow. Always been impressed with the way he speaks to people. And, you know, he's done a lot, and he's still trying to do a lot. And he's tried to involve me in it well. So, nothing but love for that guy. Just glad he showed up. Another person dropping in, person who kind of got the ball rolling on this whole idea, GearsofHalo, aka GearsofHalo 2. And he had talked to me about a month ago when I had spoken about episode 10, I believe, and just was curious if I had people on as guests. And I hadn't at that point, but it was something I'd considered and told him I'd get back to him on it. And after thinking on it, here we are. Appreciate you, brother. And last but not least, Darren. Twitter, he is PzLBossman. This guy is a major proponent for Gears EU. He is putting so much weight on his back. I mean, show this fucker some love. Because I've got nothing but love for him. And all these guys, honestly. But Darren, yeah, I'm very grateful you had the time to do this. Sure, everybody is curious. What are these 3 questions, Indian? Why are you being so fucking coy, man? Why are you taking forever to tell us? Well, you know, I'm just being cool. And I know the people who listen this long are fucking chill like me, probably taking a little puff on the blunt, maybe a bite of a sandwich or a chip or something. So, yeah, let's get to it. Question 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, rank Gears 5. Number 2, what has been the biggest letdown? And number 3, what could have been done? And do you have faith in a coalition Gears 6? So, without further ado, let's get into my boy Wicked first, since he is the only text answer. So, question 1, scale of 1 to 10, rank Gears 5. Honestly, given that all of the updates that have happened throughout Gears 5 and still having issues to this day, I would rate Gears 5 a 6. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. Question 2, what was the biggest letdown? The biggest letdown, in my opinion, is the fact that Gears 5 still suffers from terrible server issues, not to mention the horrible netcode which causes consistent online delays. And question number 3, do you have faith pretty much in Gears 6, made by TC? What could have been done differently to make Gears 5 great again? Improving the server should be the top priority over everything else. Seeing the current state of Gears right now and how the community is, it's abysmal, and honestly, if it keeps up, I don't see any hope for Gears 6. These were just tremendous answers right here. Very impressed. And I agree a lot. Really. There's nothing I can take away from you on that one, because you're right. The servers have been a big problem. Especially in Operation 5, it seems like they've been the worst, sir. Just fucked up. Think about it, like, I haven't talked about it too much, but during my climb to Masters and King of the Hill, there were games I would join where I would just have this constant rubber band lag. And the only way I could make it go away was quitting out of that match and rejoining completely. Pretty fucking weird, huh? But that's just how bad the matchmaking is, the netcode is. All around, the servers are terrible. So, it's a really good answer. Okay. After that, I think we might as well move on to Gears of Halo. Let's hear his answers really quick. I believe this is the answer to question number 1. How would you rank Gears 5? Let's go ahead and play this song. Oh, I love that it won't play. But that's just my luck, you know? Anytime I want something to play, it doesn't want to. Alright, let's see if this is it.
I think my biggest letdown was probably the amount of content we got at launch, because we really had nothing. You know, we had, if I remember correctly, we had like around 8 characters on the cog without the extras, and I had like 5 on the swarm without the extras. I mean, we had no skins. We had nothing really good. I mean, there were really no good maps. Some of them were new, but most of them were just ports.
Sorry about that. Unfortunately, the order got messed up, but that's question number 2. That is Gears of Halo speaking. Let's get question of 1, hopefully.
I would rate Gears 5 probably, like at launch, a 2. But now that it's gotten better, probably give it a 7. But see, the Gears of War series is meant to be like a 10, you know. The original trilogy, those were 9s, 10s, sometimes 11s. So, it's really disappointing seeing Gears 5 be the thing that it is. And yes, it's doing better, but you know what? It's had its chance. It's had 2 launches. I mean, you know, still not good, but it's not as bad as it came out.
Okay, and last but not least, question number 3. Let's see how he feels, if he has faith in Gears 6.
Well, I mean, what I think would have been good, what could have been done for this game, is if they weren't so greedy and they took more time. Because most of the content that we got from these operations, they were already done beforehand. So I don't understand why it took them forever to get it all out. You know, we were missing modes, we were missing a lot of other stuff. I just hope that, you know, with 6, I hope they turn it around. Because if they don't get it right with 6, it's going to get shelved. The franchise is going to get shelved. I mean, look at Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's got the same problem, you know? If it doesn't do well, it's going to get shelved.
Wow. Those were some really good, insightful answers. Let's kind of pace those out, because they did get mixed up. But we'll start with number 1 on the ranking. Ranking it a 7 seems like a common thread right now. And, you know, I feel you on that rating. I wanna go that way, but I feel like it's more of a 5, like a hard 5 or an easy 6. But I respect that answer. And I also respect what you're saying about content in general, because that is kind of your question 2 and 3 answer, is just this overarching statement about content. I 100% agree. It sounds like you've been watching my content from the beginning, or you've just paid attention as well and seen it for yourself. A lot of the content we've gotten is ports. Maps that they give us, ports. It's really disappointing that instead of just leaving maps like Foundation and Gears 4 and maybe porting some of the newer maps and that's it, I'd rather have Diner over Foundation. So really agree with you on that. And I don't know, I wish they would have been a little smarter about that. I think everybody does, but I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it's just one of those things where you kind of got to roll with the punches, if you know what I'm saying. And I think a lot of people were just really upset, if you know what I mean. So, don't feel bad. Okay, next, I think we'll do Andrew. Definitely has some interesting things to put in here. Let's give him his chance. Question number 1 about rating Gears 5.
So, I think at the start of its life cycle, it would have definitely been a 6 out of 10, and like that's being generous. With all the server issues, campaign bugs, lack of characters and maps, and the constant kicks in a ranked game, I think the only thing keeping it from actually being a 3 or a 4 was the graphics, a solid campaign, and like decent additions to PvE, like Escape and some twists on Horde. But I think now, especially with all the changes they've made, they've definitely improved, added a lot of content. So I'd say maybe a 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Okay. Here's answer to question number 2 about his basic letdown.
I'd say probably the biggest letdown was probably the lack of content and raising the grind at launch. Like the ranked season hadn't started yet. There was hardly any maps. The new escape mode only had 4 basic maps. There was no exclusive characters to unlock or grind for doing certain achievements, like maybe beating the campaign on the hardest difficulty or mastering all maps and Horde. So there was no rewards to work towards. So you sort of just played the game and that was it. You just played multiplayer and had fun, but there was no characters, there was no reason to grind. Now we're getting these new rape rewards, we're getting heroic weapons to grind for, brand new heroic characters to grind for, and at least at the start that would have gave us something to work towards, but there was nothing to work towards.
And answer number 3 about his faith in the Coalition and a Gears 6.
I think the best thing for them to do would have been to delay the game, basically pull Halo Infinite. They should have asked for help from Microsoft, like 343 have done. They got some creative directors on board, some OG developers. The Coalition maybe could have even asked Cliff Bleszinski to come back. They could have started developing more maps, more characters to have on launch. The servers could have been worked on, and they could have had more rewards to work towards. But all things said and done, to be honest, I do have faith in the Coalition for Gears 6. I think they have a solid foundation now. They have a very high base standard of what the game should be, with all the upgraded textures, the lighting for next-gen consoles, all the characters they have, all the maps they have now, and all the assets, so like weapon skins and the escape map foundations and all that there, Horde maps, Horde modes, and bosses. But to be honest, I think Gears 6 needs to have a solid launch, or I feel like that's the end for Gears of War. There's just too much damage done, and this is it. This will be the next big push, and if Gears 6 isn't a success at launch and for a year afterwards, then I think that's it for Gears of War.
Couldn't have put it any better myself, my friend, and this is why I'm so glad that you were able to come on. Just because, he's right. He's right about everything you just said. Think about it. I mean, hands down. How the fuck can you argue with that logic? It was just terrible, and I agree with the comparison of how, could have gotten honestly, it was like a 3 at launch, and he was being generous with what he was trying to give it, but there's another 7, a 7.5, so a little stronger, but there's another 7, so people are really, they're like, it's getting there, but we still need more, and content, another big driving factor, the fact that the grind was, kind of a, a carrot in front of your face. Just, you never were able to get it. And, I feel you on how you want to believe in the coalition. You want to give them a chance. But I don't think Cliff should come back. I was actually just talking to somebody about this today. Matter of fact, it was Jace. And, I've followed Cliff ever since he took the money and ran from Epic. When he floundered and then started Boss Key Productions. I was on the mailing list before anything came out when his website launched. I was there day one. Watched the 2 games he launched fail. And then, he owns restaurants now, but COVID happened, so that's not all that good. But he's okay. He tweets a lot of crazy shit, but he just doesn't have the touch anymore. So I would keep him away from this franchise, honestly. I don't think he knows what he's doing anymore when it comes to games. And there's other people I would rather give a chance. I think there's, I don't know, just nicer people to pick in our community opposed to that. But you're brilliant fucking answer. And last but not least, got my buddy Darren here. This is more of a free form, so I'm just gonna let him kind of roll here.
Bossman here. Let's have a look. Question 1. A scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rank Gears 5? The campaign for me still brings the game down. The hard experience is alright, escapes decent but gets repetitive and sort of boring fast. Multiplayer's in a workable state and stuff now, so if I was going to give it an honest rating now, I would give Gears a 7 out of 10. It would get a 7 out of 10. If I was going to rate it out of 10 now in its current state, 7. Launch 1, like -4, like whatever you want to run off with that one. Question 2, what has been my biggest letdown? Gears 5, launch, I mean, the list's fucking huge, isn't it, really, on the letdowns that is Gears 5 and the Coalition. The EU being dropped, the game launch, the community sort of communications with TC, the way that breaks down, glitchy matchmaking, disconnects, it's still happening now, we've had it constantly for a couple of weeks at this point, I've been back 4 weeks, I don't think there's been a single night where the servers haven't gone fucking apeshit, it's fucking disgusting, the game, Gears 5, on the whole, what has been the biggest letdown? Gears 5, just the whole experience so far. What could have been done, and do I have faith in TC with Gears 6? They could have owned the shit better. They definitely have. I've said it. I say it now. I've said it from the start. They should own the shit better. They just never took and still sort of took no responsibility. No statement, no thing. It's always been you've missed or just whatever nonsense excuses they give them, whatever bullshit. But they go around and fix the problems, so they know that they are actually fucking problems. They just should have owned it more and communicated more and been more transparent. Do I trust them with Gears 6? Now, yeah, Ryan Cleveland's gone, Rod Ferguson's gone, fucking Dana Assassin's gone, I can never remember the other cunt's name, but Octus, he's gone. Fuck them lot, see you later, see you never, bye. Don't let the fucking dog run away out. And they've got some decent people in it. I'm not really sure what the crack is with it. Is it TC Kilo or someone, the new community manager? There seems to be some bits and bobs going on there. I can't really comment. I haven't interacted with them yet, so I can't comment either way. But I have faith in the current development team and the direction Gears is heading in now from a multiplayer perspective. I have faith in the Gears 6. All this talk of the Phoenix collection, it honestly just bores me. I don't want TC releasing more stuff that they didn't make. I want Gears 6. And carry on with the momentum you've got now. You should have done with 4 or 5, carried that momentum through from Gears 4 onto Gears 5 instead of the absolute pile of shit we got. Carry the momentum you're getting now, keep building. It's going to be a while to Gears 6. Keep building, keep getting it right. Like, get some new maps out, like actually new maps. Like, get your shit out, get it sorted. Maybe another campaign DLC, whatever. And then do Gears 6 and carry on with the same momentum. Don't take Gears 6 back to fucking basics like you tried with 5 and fuck it royally. Nobody wants that. But yeah, short answer, yeah, I have faith in the current TC and the direction they're heading in to do Gears 5. Gears 6. Sorry. Cheers for having me, bro.
Well fucking said. Leave it to Darren to just bring it in and just make it, oh man, so real. I think I'm going to start off by focusing on the Gears EU. Yeah, 100% agree. I'm going to take everything you say a step further, pretty much, just so you don't have to. This does not reflect your views, but I'm going to take it further because I was insulted even more by a lot of the shit that you're talking about. You were completely abandoned by the coalition, and you guys have single-handedly kept this shit alive. If it wasn't for all of you and your efforts, there would be no Gears EU right now. And you know my thoughts, but I'll speak them again for everyone else. I personally feel how Gears EU is conducting business vastly superior to what I've seen over the past couple of years. That's just my opinion. I think people have more fun. I think engagement is up. They just don't see the numbers because we're the ones handling it. And I'm using we lightly because I don't really have any involvement in that. I have light engagement, and I'm blessed. But point being, they're doing phenomenal things, and the coalition is on notice. I've already heard. They're on notice. And I wouldn't go back to them. I would kind of hold out and maybe have them as donors, but stay free agent. And just have them give you the money and let you guys do it. Kind of gonna put this out there. Been talking to Darren about potentially having a wingman tournament. You're like, how would we do wingman? That's impossible, Hindi. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, boys. Maybe the way we get wingman is by going into free-for-all, and everybody picks the skins they want to use as duos. So 2 Bairds, 2 Marcuses, 2 Roms, 2 Drones, 2 Grenadiers. You get where I'm going with this. And you see who has the most by the match end. Combined points, right? It'll be fucking awesome. I don't know, though. Have to be gentleman rules. Lot to work out. But it could be interesting. And, man, you're right. There has been a lot of betrayal. And what you said about the nibs and knobs, yeah, man, I know what you mean. I just talked about it a little bit with the 1,000-year bans that are being issued out. These shadow bans, and for what? We're just talking about the game. You're literally mad that there's people that are generating hype and excitement for the game. Doing what you can't do, I guess. I don't know. But it's fucking pathetic. And they need to be accountable for the bullshit. Because, see, everybody's saying 7 to 7.5 out of 10. They're being super fair. But they're right. You guys need to be a lot more accountable for everything that's going on. You need to publicly acknowledge this fucked up shit. And hopefully with this episode of ShitYeah, as we draw to a close, you do kind of appreciate what I'm saying. I'm talking to you, Coalition. Hopefully you appreciate what we're all saying. Because all we've been trying to do this whole time is help y'all out. You know what I mean?
A few words of inspiration.
And if you would just fucking work with us,
It's dedicated to the hustlers, standing on
I
the
swear,
curb, smoking herb,
it would get better.
moving weight from the inner city to the suburb. Paranoid and jail,
There's
pocket full of Yale. Just
still that
on another
door
cell.
open.
Sip your beers, wipe your tears, encourage your peers.
But you gotta come
It's gonna
through.
be alright, alright. Everything is gonna be alright.
Anyway,
Sell your dope,
it's that time, boys.
make your money every night. Get on down.
Really
Round the corner.
thankful I could do something like this. Don't worry, we'll have a little more intimate talk next week. But this was good too, right? Apes together strong. All for one. Don't let these motherfuckers hold you guys down. They can silence us on the forums, but you can leave a comment on Twitter. Fuck with Reddit. Got YouTube. Let's have each other's backs. You know what I mean? Anyway, enough rambling. I'm out, guys. That should be enough to put you back on deck. Now I know you want parole, but don't be scared. This time we'll be prepared. Fuck the Fed, don't say shit to your broad. Keep the dope stash in the neighbor's yard. When they kicking the dope with the steel toe boot, won't find nothing but a lawsuit, baby. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything. Sell your dope, sell it. Make your money every night. Every night. Them brothers round the corner, you know them fools. They wanna start a fight. Fuck them. Sell your dope, sell it. Keep on hustling until your money's right. You know what I'm saying? You and your girl, come on, y'all. Might argue every night. That's alright. Sell your dope, sell it, man. Especially when your pocket